Hey YouTube, what's going on, guys? We're back with another one. Today we are making jerk chicken. Yeah, you heard that right, jerk chicken. It's gonna be off the chain. Look at these beautiful ingredients that we have. We're gonna make plantains. We're gonna do mango as a side dish. We're gonna do some potatoes. It's gonna be really good. So let's jump right into that prep work. Now, a big part of the prep work, what we want to do is we just want to take every piece of our chicken and we want to cut little slits in it. All right, so what this is really going to allow the chicken to do is to soak up as much of those seasonings as possible. And that's going to make your chicken as flavorful as possible. It's also going to make it juicy. It's going to be great. All right, so let's finish up with these last couple pieces real quick. All right, so it's really random. Sometimes I put 3, sometimes I put 4. You're just going to cut little slits in it. There's really no rhyme or reason to it, so to speak. All right, next up, we're going to season our chicken. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of olive oil on first, a little bit of kosher salt, and then a liberal amount of black pepper. And now we just want to mix everything around, make sure everything is evenly coated. And then next, I use Walker's Wood. It's a jerk seasoning. Everything is pre-made. It's thick. It's delicious. This is the mild version. There is a spicy version as well, although the mild is too hot for most people. So the mild is plenty hot for me. All right, so let's get everything moved around here. Make sure everything is evenly coated. And then we're going to put a little plastic wrap on this and put it in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours. Okay, guys, we're back. That chicken has been marinating in the refrigerator for about 3 to 4 hours now. All those flavors have had a chance to soak into that meat. So now we're just going to lay it out on that glass baking dish that I'm going to use here. I'm only cooking about 7 or 8 pieces here, so try to keep a little bit of space in between your chicken. You don't really want it to touch. Be sure to dig out all of that good jerk seasoning and put it on top. Give your hands a good wash. And next we're gonna prep our scallions and our garlic. So just cut off that bad piece there, toss it out, dice up that scallion really thin, really fine. Get that garlic, do the same thing, mince it up really small as you can get it. Sprinkle that over the top. All right, once you got all your garlic sprinkled over the top, you're pretty much ready to go. We're gonna slap that into a 400-degree oven. Okay, guys, so while our chicken is in the oven, let's continue with some of the prep work. Full disclosure, I did cut up a potato, but who doesn't know how to do that right? All right, guys, look at this beautiful, juicy, ripe mango. So we're gonna cut this up. This is just gonna be something, a garnish on the plate, something for when that jerk gets a little bit too spicy. That pretty much ends our prep work. All right, so about 20 minutes has gone by. The chicken has been cooking at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Look at that. It's already looking pretty good. It smells amazing. So while that 20 minutes has gone by, what I've done is I just went ahead and got my rice started, boiled those potatoes, and I got my pan up to temp with about a cup of vegetable oil in it. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and give that chicken a turn. Just turn every piece. We want to make sure it's cooked evenly. We want to make sure we space it out a little bit. So yeah, just get every piece turned. Once every piece gets turned, you're going to put it right back in that oven at 400 degrees. All right, so let's move on to our plantains, the all-important plantains. All right, I grew up eating these, one of my favorite foods here. These ones are a little bit more green than I usually prefer. Typically, I would just let these maybe sit in a windowsill for a couple days, ripen up a little bit more. But, you know, hey, I'm in the Midwest, so I guess I'll take what I can get. So go ahead and split those out the middle. Let's go ahead and throw the outside part away. So I cut off the ends, typically make 2 cuts, then cut it down the middle. That's how I prepare mine. I get that oil nice and hot. I normally let my pan heat up for about 10 minutes just so I make sure it's hot. But I'm old school, so I also take some water on my hand, flick it in that grease, and if it makes that sizzle, I know it's ready to go. All right, so just go ahead and drop those plantains in there. You're gonna let those fry. I typically do mine for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. Okay, now that we got those plantains going, we probably still have about 15 or so minutes cook time left on that chicken. Let's go ahead and put them out the oven. This is optional for me. I like peas. I love peas. These are sweet peas. I love the way they taste. I love the pop of color that it gives to the dish. So I add those with about 15 or so minutes left, and then put it back into that 400-degree oven, and keep an eye on those plantains. Okay, so those plantains have had a chance to cook now for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and I went ahead and take them out of the oil. So now what we're going to do is you're going to grab a piece of wax paper. Okay, you're going to put a plantain in between that wax paper, and you can use your hand, a rolling pin. Myself, I like to use a combination of my hand and just like a spice, just something that's a circle, a glass, a cup, an empty bottle, anything will do. So you're just going to take that and you're just going to roll it out nice. You basically want to flatten it out. You want to expose the fleshy part of that plantain. So you've already got a nice golden brown fry on the outside, but once you expose that fleshy part is still not cooked. All right, so once you flatten all of those out, make sure your grease gets back up to temp. I take my grease off while I'm flattening out just because that grease tends to get a little hotter when you take the food out and your grease will burn. So I either turn my temp down or I just take it off the fire. All right, guys, so that chicken is completely cooked. We're at about 45 minutes or so at 400 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and flip that chicken skin side up and put that back in the oven on a high broil because I want to get just a little bit of a char, a little bit of a crisp on the outside skin of that chicken. All right, go ahead and get those plantains a good turn. They look like they're about done. We got our potatoes over here. Now these potatoes are real simple. I just boil potatoes and some sea salt and a little bit of black pepper. Again, that's just something, once that jerk gets hot, it just takes the bite just to have a bite of potato. All right, so those plantains look like they're good and ready. We're gonna get those out, get those on a paper towel to get some of that grease off of there. Guys, and it looks like we're about ready to plate up. All right, so here we go, guys, fresh out of that high broil. I left it in there for about 3 to 4 minutes. Don't want to leave it in too long. This is our plate, guys. 3 pieces of chicken, rice and peas, mango, plantains, potatoes. All right, so we're going to be eating off of this for the next couple days. Until the next one, peace.